Yeah, hello, hi everyone. It's Hitesh here. So today we will look into out some useful range objects methods and what are the different other range objects methods we have. So we're gonna look into that. Okay, just like the some important and some very common methods like copy and pasting method, right? Selecting method, how to clear and delete method. These are all the things we're going to see. Yesterday, all the things we have covered regarding the range objects only, and we have seen that how we can use the range objects with our worksheets, right? And different other programming concepts we have seen. So I can assume that you all are ready with your particular VBE, that is a Visual Basic Editor. So we're going to open our Visual Basic Editor, and with in that we're going to do our code, because everything whatever we have to do, we have to do inside the that Visual Basic Editor only, right? Now you already know that a VBA methods perform some kind of an action, and that range objects has dozens of methods. Okay, but you won't need that all the methods which are having the range object contains, because it has n number of methods. Okay, and trying to executing all the methods which is not even necessary and not that much important is not required at this level. Okay, there's some important methods which we have to take into consideration, like the copy paste delete and select and activate methods. These are the some types of methods which we have to take into consideration. Now I'll suggest you that open your visual editor by using the Alt plus Fe. Okay, when you're going to open your Alt plus Fe, right, Alt plus F11. Now do the right click and go to view code. Now inside this we're going to see our the select method. So let's create a one procedure, that is sub select, right? Okay, we have to give the parenthesis. We're going to look into the functions also, this procedure and functions in detail. Okay, just give me some select, right? Right, now inside this I have to take the worksheet, right? Inside this worksheet I have in sheet 1, and inside this sheet 1 let's use the range object. Range object is selecting from, suppose, A1 to C2 I am taking. Okay, dot select. What I have done, I have just selected the cells from A1 to C2. Okay, let's give the proper name because it is a case sensitive. Okay, now I have selected the range from A1 to C2. If we'll go into that, okay, it means that it has selected from A1 to C2 like this way, right? Now if we'll go back to the editor, here what I have done, I have just selected it, because select method is used to select a range of a cells. Okay, for that we can use the select property. Now before selecting any range, it's often a good idea to use and some additional statement to ensure that the correct worksheet is active. For example, if suppose your sheet 1 contain the range from, you want to select like from A2 to C2, right? You want to select this one. So if this sheet 1 and the range you want to select is this one, so you are selecting means you are selecting from range A1 to C2, and you are using the property called as in select. Okay, so the good practice is that before selecting the sheet, always have a practice that you should able to activate that sheet first. Okay, and in order to activate that sheet, okay, what you can do, you can use the activate property. You can use the activate property. So I'm setting as activate. Okay, activate property. Got it? Now if we'll run this, we'll see this has been get selected, right? Let me go to and run this. It means that you have selected this one, right? Can you see? I'm just keeping my cursor here. I'm just giving my cursor as suppose as P12. Now if I'll run this particular command, specific command, which you can see here, it means that it has activated the say sheet first, this range of sheets, and I've selected that sheet. If I'll run this, you can see this has been get automatically selected, right? Now what you can do, suppose we're going to do the some kind of an copy pasting with the activate sheet method and with the select method. Copy pasting method with the, now suppose I'm creating a sub copy range, okay, and inside this suppose I'm selecting the range, okay, this range contain sheet 1, got it, this range contain sheet 1, and inside the sheet already, if suppose I want to do that directly, okay, I don't want to means use this worksheets and all, right, so let's give the range directly from A1 to A12, suppose you are taking, and we are selecting, can you see this select method, then we have a selection dot copy method, okay, we have a copy method, so for copying we have selection dot copying, and again we have to select the that range where we want to paste that value, right, so I want to paste that value in range, inside the range c1 dot select, and we have to active the sheet dot paste, okay, active dot sheet dot paste, right, this we have done, just remove the, right, now let's run this. After running this particular command, right, what you can see, it has selected this, see this, from A1 to A12, you can see the lines, this particular dash lines which is hovering over the A1 to A12, right, and can you see the C1 to C12, can you see here the C1 up to C12 where we want to paste the data, so we have copied the data from here A1 to A11 by using this command, that is selection dot copy, and by using paste activate sheet paste we have pasted the this particular values, right, this is the kind of an copy paste, can you see, this is the values of copy paste, right. Now suppose I'm entering value, okay, let's enter this some value here guys, okay, let's take some random integer from 10 to 20, I'm taking some random integer, let's do the 10 to 20, and from A1 to 12, okay, now go here, copy this, and can you see the value has been pasted but in different order, why, because I have taken the rand between function, right, it is going to provide me the random numbers. Now see here, if I run this again, when the values get changed, can you see, just concentrate on the first column, first row, every time I'll run this value get changes because of the random integer function, can you see, so in this way we can work with the copy pasting method, okay. Because we here in VBA we're not doing any task manually, like selecting the copy like manually from here and doing the control plus C and going to here and giving the paste option, okay, we are just automating, we are just doing everything with the help of the code, okay, VBA code which are trying to executing here in this particular editor, can you see, if we have a value called as a copy function, then we also have a value for the delete method as well as for the clear method, because we have to clear the contents of some particular range which we have selected, right, and we have to delete the some kind of a method, because clearing a range different from the deleting a range, so when you delete some kind of range, this Excel will going to shift the remaining cells around to the fill up to the range you have deleted. Now suppose I am selecting one particular procedure name as an clear method, okay, give me a clear method. Now inside this clear method what happening, suppose we have selected the columns, and columns D is to D, D is to D dot clear, suppose I am using this property. Now if I run this, although there is not anything in days to D, can you see, now if I'll run this days to D, some kind of a method or some columns we have selected, okay, we have selected right, we have given some kind of a values here, and we are printing some values. Okay, now if I run this, what you can see, the column get totally clear. Right, now I want to delete this column, FCNA. So A to A means complete whole column. Okay, if you are giving the some kind of a range, so you can give it like A1 to A2, like in this way, A to A, and C to C, and F to F. Okay, I have to clear this all the three columns simultaneously. Now let's run this. Okay, mismatch error we have got. It means we can't do this simultaneously. Okay, no worries. If I wanted to delete this particular specific, so I have to copy this and again I have to paste it on 2 times, then I can do. Or else what you can do, you can select the range and totally you can clear it, right? Like if I'll tell you range, and range you are selecting from A1 to, right, A1 to, let's give the range from F, you can say let's select to G15, right, G15, and dot clear, right. This you can execute, okay, or either you can execute this one, right. Let me give comment, and let's first execute this one. Okay, let me give some C is to C, F is to F, this all the parameters let me pass, and let's run this. What you can see, totally is clear, right. Now I can't able to undo this because we have done with the help of the editor. Now suppose I have given some kind of a function 1 2 3, okay, this I have given, and I have written this with the help of, let's do the fill series. We're not able to do in the fill series. Okay, no worries, it's better. Okay, suppose we have done like this way, and we have some kind of an value here between the A to C, what we are trying to fill, right. Anything value we can give it, what do we want, doesn't matter. Now we are going to this function, let's comment this one, clear method, or else let's do the one procedure. Inside this procedure, clear 1 or clear 2 I am taking, and I'm just pasting it. Let's go to the home and recommend and run it. You can see everything is get clear. Why? Because the range which I have given from here to here, automatically it is going to clear all the contents, whatever things are there, right. So in this way also we can execute our clear method. Got it? We can use the delete method also. If you're using delete method, like suppose delete method you are using, inside this delete method, suppose we are using the rows from 6 to 6, right, whatever things are there, delete it. Okay, now let's go to 6 to 6 and give some kind of an values. Okay, any values you want, you can give it any values, right. Now let's run this. Now go to Excel. What you can see, there is nothing in the 6th row. Try to undo, you can't able to undo anything, see, because you have done with the help of Visual Editor. Now if I run this, of course there is nothing. Okay, even if I am writing something else, okay, and I'm going to editor and I'm executing this one, what you can see, nothing, right. See, nothing is there, right. So in this way this copy, paste and delete method works. Got it? Now we have seen so many range objects things, right. Let's move into our new different topic, which is called as an you have been seeing this all the methods procedures. What is this called as methods and procedures? Okay, we'll look this particular functions. Okay, this worksheet functions, we're going to look at it. What are the worksheet functions we have, and what are the user defined functions which we create? Basically functions is nothing but you can say, if you see, except for a few people, okay, who think that Excel is a word processor, okay, because all Excel users incorporate a worksheet function in their formulas, right? So the most common worksheet function is the sum function, which they commonly used in everyday life, and you have hundreds of others at your disposals, right? So function is essentially performs a calculation and returns a single value, like the sum function, of course, which returns the sum of range of the given values, right? The same holds true for the function used in your VBA expressions, and each function does is what its thing and returns a single value. So we have basically three types of functions in VBA. One which is called as an built-in functions, which is provided by the VBA. One is worksheet functions, which is provided by the Excel, and one is custom functions, that is we create in our VBA, right? That is user defined functions. Okay, so these are the three functions our whole particular Excel and VBA has been divided and categorized. Okay, let's jump into some kind of VBA functional examples. We will look into some displaying this like VBA functions like call as system date. Let's create a one procedure. Inside that, suppose I am writing show date, right? I want to show the date. Although we have seen this yesterday also, how we can view the date. Now message box, right? Inside this message box, what we are doing inside this message box, we are giving, suppose today is, okay, today is date, right? You want to write the date, right? Date function we are using. So let's run this. What you can see, today is 4/11/4/2023, right? It is in the month, DD, and year format, YY, right? DD, YY format. Can you see? So today is date function. So this is the date function which I have been used, right, in this way. Now we have noticed, okay, if you want to use the time, so definitely there is no rush in that. Message box, now the timing is, and oh, okay, invalid character we have used, that is a dollar, we have to give the ampersand time. Now let's run this. So today is date, and now the timing is, that is, can you see, 7:57 p.m., right, which is 18 minutes. If I run this again, you can see now it's 18, right? So this is the date and time functions. Got it? Now suppose we will create a one procedure where this procedure use the length functions, okay, and this length function return the length of a text string. Now the length function will take a one argument, which is called as a string only. When you execute this procedure, your message box should display your name and a number of characters in your name. Got it? We have to create a one procedure. In that procedure, your message box display a name and how many characters are there in your name, that should get displayed by using the length function. Okay, now let's create a one procedure, and inside this procedure we're going to do the coding. Now suppose I'm creating one procedure called as an get length of this thing, so get length. Got it? And inside this length, suppose I'm getting D, my name as string, right? We are using the string data type, and again let's create a variable which is named as string length. Okay, and let's give the string length as integer, because we have to count the number of characters in the string, right? So it requires the integer. Now I'm taking my name equal to, inside this my name we are using the application username, right? Whoever is using this application application dot username. Can you see application dot username at last? Application dot username, because whatever the username is there of this particular application is string length. Okay, dynamically we are taking string length, and inside this we are passing the length of my name, right, which we have given this, because in application dot username which is stored in my name, and this my name I have passed in this length function, right. Now in this string length I have to display in the message box that my name, right, my name, I have to give the ampersand has, you have to write, like you have to write my name has this much type of kind of characters, or this much characters we have. The string length, and again, and you have to use characters. Okay, characters, got it. And let's do the, let's run this particular procedure. Now if I run this, say Iteja has 10 characters, right. My name is Iteja, so Iteja has 10 characters. We can give a space if you want, right, it depends upon you. Now let's run this, right. Iteja had 10 characters, can you see? So in this way we have created this type of procedure, and we have used the length function in order to find the characters, number of characters in a given strings, right. So it's not necessary that you should use the pass the application dot username. Here you can pass your string also if you want. Suppose I'm just passing the Excel is a spreadsheet, right, spreadsheet application. I'm passing this one, this string I'm passing. Let's run this. If I run this, what you can see, Excel is a spreadsheet application, has 34 characters in total, right. So it doesn't matter, you can pass anything you want, right. Now Excel also having the length function. If I'll say, if I'll go to Excel and if I'll execute length equal to, Excel having the same, suppose you can pass in the Hitesh here, and see is giving there's a 6 characters in a, right. If Excel is able to do it within a just one line, then why we should display this one, right. Now if I'll go to Excel and I'm using the length function, inside that if I'm to use a text, right, I have to use the in double inverted comma. If I'm writing that application, right, application dot username, if I'm writing in this way, and if I run this, it is not giving me this say, right, it's giving me just whatever things I've written inside the text. But this visual basic editor is able to give you the dynamically your name of the person who is acquiring this application and how many characters are there. Okay, so that is possible by the some kind of a languages. That's why we have a this visual basic editor, right. Now suppose if I wanted to display the some name of a month, and month name I want to display, so definitely by the name of the functions only we can able to display the things, right. Suppose I'm getting sub and show month name. Okay, it is some kind of this type of procedure, and we are, what we want month name, right. So dim this month, as long characters we are using, it's better to use the long, and this month, suppose month date, we are using the month function. Inside the month I pass the date. In message box what we have to show, we have to show the month name, and inside this month, right. We have used the month name function, and we have used the month function also. If I run this, you can say April, this month is April. But if you want, you can write it here, right, this month is April here, right, this month is April. You see, so in this way we have seen the how we can use the particular month name function, right? Now suppose I wanted to do with the help of this excel function, right? So definitely excel also contain the same. Wait, we have the month function there, right? Now suppose I want to display some name of a month we have discussed. Now if I want to do display, if I want to suppose access this some file size, what is the size of this file is given. Okay, suppose this is a excel application and you have to write some procedure. Inside that procedure you have to find the what is the size of this application, what is the size of excel application you have, right? So basically we have to give the pass the path, and this path you already know that our program files contain the Microsoft Office, right? If I'll go to here, okay, I'll go to on my PC Office, and if you go to program files 86-bit architecture, inside this you have in Microsoft Office. If you'll say you have in Microsoft Office here only, right? Can you see Microsoft Web Tools .NET, then Visual Studio, then here in Microsoft you're having this, right? So in this Microsoft Office you have an Office part, and inside that you have an Excel, right? So in my case, yeah, I guess I have this Excel installed in some other path I've installed. Yeah, you can see it is in program files, not in 86 but in Microsoft Office, and we have an Office 16. And what is the size of this? We have an excel.exe, right? We have an excel.exe here. Now if you want, what you can do, you can copy this path. Okay, you can copy this path, go to your Visual Basic Editor, just create us some procedure, name this procedure as show file size, right? Now inside this procedure I'm writing dim, suppose the file as a string, and this file, the file having, let's give the path control plus V, right? And inside this we have Microsoft Office, Microsoft Office, Office, right? Inside this Office 16, depending upon your version which you are using. Okay, excel.exe, excel.exe, like in this way, this file, and let's use the message box, and we have a file length function. This file length function will going to give the size of the file. What is the size of the file we have, right? I have run this particular, I have created this procedure. Now if I wanted to run it, I'll run it. So let's see whether it's been showing in the file not found, right? We are mostly getting the error because file not found. Maybe my what I am trying to access is from here, my file is not found in the correct location. In the C program files I have given the Microsoft Office, I have Microsoft Office 15 also. I can use this particular file Microsoft Office 15, or else we have Microsoft Office. Inside this Office, let me see 16, right? There is no file which is named as excel.exe, so it's not taking. But in your case maybe there is a file which is taking the excel.exe, okay, and it will going to return the size of the particular file. Okay, as I said, there is not a single file is given. If you want, you can take the, suppose less control plus C I am using, and in Microsoft Office what we are doing, Microsoft Office let me paste that particular file which I want to access. What is the size of the file, right? App first. Let's run this. Okay, if we'll run this, see, it's contain 5,59,454 bytes, right? And definitely we have this size of file. Can I say 5464 KB, right? So in this way you can find the size of the application. What is the size of the applications in bytes by using the Visual Basic Editor, right? Now we have done some kind of a functions like date, time. These are all the functions we have done, and how we can check the length, and we have checked the file size, right? So this all are basic functions we have coded inside these some procedures, and we have seen the results of it, right? Now VBA function having more functionalities or more specification, right? Just like one of the famous function we have that is called as a message box, which is used to display the output, and because it displays some handy dialog box which containing some messages and buttons which we are trying to execute, and the function returns a code which identify which button user clicks, right? And we're going to do that later in a detail, all the button clicks and the user clicks options and all the action events. Okay, now suppose we have also used the input box where we can take the input from the user, and that whatever the depending upon the his input we can display the value. We have used the concept like VBA is some of the most important. If you write some function, if you're trying to execute that function, if you want to access that function, right? So we have a number of methods or built-in functions which is provided by the VBS, and remembering them all the functions is not a easy task. I mean, it's not a possible also. So we have to remember only the, just you can say, important one, right? And whatever we're not able to find, so we can Google it out. We can find from the Google and we can apply in that our code. Right? Like some of the important functions like dated add, dated if, right? Date part, then directory, day, exponential, length, fix, date, time, absolute, int, array, or is empty or not, right? Format, right? Minute, month, mid, length, left. So these are the some function depending upon the names only. Therefore you want to find the time, so you can use the time function. So you want to give the string, you can use the string. You want to give the space, you can use the space function, right? These are the some built-in functions, right? If you want to do the right if you want to return the number or specified number of characters from right side of the string, so you can use the right RAGST. If you want to return some random integer, so you can use the RND between 0 to 1, right? So these are the some built-in functions. Some other Excel functions like sum, count if, average, this is also there, and we have seen some kind of an example. Suppose from A1 to A12, I'm taking this particular Excel sheet, and inside this let me give some random numbers between 10 to 200, and let's run this, and I'm going to run this from, let's do the flash fill. So yeah, till 36 I given the flash fill, and in A38 I should get the sum of it. So I have two methods here. Also I can use the sum equal to sum, and I can give the directly value for it, right? And but if I wanted to do inside this code, okay, if I want to do inside the code, so what I can do, let's create sum function, right? Sum functions, and inside this sum functions we are trying to calculate the total. So total equal to application. Inside my application I'm following the hierarchy for once more, worksheet, right? Inside the worksheet I have, okay, worksheet function, actually worksheet function, okay, worksheet function dot sum. Inside the sum I have given the range, and from range A1 up to, from A, from here, from A1 up to A36, right? A36, right? A36, and inside this A36 let's find the total message box. I want to display in the message box, right? Total. Let's run this. What you can see, the total is 3624. Can you see it? 3624. So in this way we can find, we can use the sum function, right? Now suppose I don't want to use this whole, you can say, this whole thing, application dot worksheet function dot, like in this way. So what I can use, let's create a one variable sum of, and sum of, if I'm taking here, we can directly use application dot sum method. Okay, application dot sum method, and inside this sum method we have a range function, and let's give the range from a1 to a36, and let's display in the message box, that is sum of. Okay, if I'll run this, what you can say, 3624, right? Again it's working, right? Instead of writing this particular whole code, right? Now you might be thinking that yeah, like just previous code has been run, it doesn't like that. Let me give you example. See, 364, even I've done the comment, it's still running. Message box sum of this range from a1 to a36, right? So this is the particular value we can, these are the some functions which we have been executed. Okay, now suppose we are doing the last part of the last lecture of today, how we're going to find the maximum or minimum value in a some particular range, right? If I want to find the minimum value, so I can find the minimum value or maximum value in a range. Suppose I'm getting a show max. First let's look at the show max, and let's get a one variable name as, okay, let's get a one variable name as dim max function, or the max, suppose, as of course double I can take, double it should be in decimal, I guess it might get in decimal, the max worksheet, okay, worksheet function dot max. Inside the max, let's give the range. Definitely inside every function you have to give the range, guys. Okay, I given from a2 to a2, means from in a column what are the ranges I have. Okay, and let's display this in message box, and in this message box we are displaying the max, right? Now let's run this. Okay, what is the maximum number? Yeah, 188 is the maximum number inside the whole column, right? So we are able to find the maximum number in the whole column, and with the help of the VBA code. So these are the some functions which we have seen, right? Like, and how this VBA built-in functions helping us to find the given value or given range of values in that particular column. Okay, it doesn't matter how many types of, how many rows, what is the length of this particular rows, how many, till up to like 1 lakh or 2 lakh it has given, it will going to give it a direct answers. Okay, directly within a short amount of time, because the just compiling efficiency is very high with respect to the Excel. Okay, so I guess you all have been just understand till here. Tomorrow we will see more functions, right? And we will see some program and some procedure on the basis of that particular function, like lookup functions or mortgage payment functions, right? Or some other worksheet functions, like how, and how the custom functions also we can create our own functions, right? And how we can use that, we're going to see all that part. So guys, for today this much is enough, and if you wanted to learn in deep this excellent VBA and how the VBA automation works in data analysis and data science, right? So definitely we have a course for that, and we definitely guide our candidates at the best level. So thank you everyone, thank you so much. if you wanted to learn in deep, you can connect to Coachx.Live. Definitely they're going to guide you at the best level. So bye bye, take care, let's see you tomorrow.